Exactly. Right, live. Ray, good evening. Why are we not addressing child trafficking? Now, I would read his bio, but it's too long, and we don't know how long StreamYard's going to be our friend tonight. So
Yeah.
I'm not going to bother, but you can find him on YouTube. He's called Stone Giant. That's it, isn't it?
Yep, that's one. Stone Giant 369.
There you go, Stone Giant 369. Now, this needs to be shared across every platform, to be honest, because the government, police, NHS, the lot, they're more focused about coronavirus, Brexit, and not important stuff. But child trafficking, child grooming, I may say it, child assassination. It's being ignored. So we need to know why. This is why I brought Elliot on. So yours, Elliot.
Well, yeah, essentially for me, it is the most poignant question of, well, the current situation, really. With all what's going on with Wayfair, Amazon. I mean, I've been doing my own individual research about it, and my goodness, it's damning. It's absolutely shocking. How this all connects up together, like it really is. And again, the most important question for me is why so many people within society, what we call the sheeple, the people who are yet to be red pilled, the people that are still taking the blue pill, they're still sitting there asleep. Yeah. Why are they so much more concerned with, you know, all these bullshit social issues of it's hard to explain. All these divisions, you know, all these divisions of, oh, you know, I like this and you like that and whatnot. Like we're focusing on completely the wrong areas of everything that's going on at the moment. And again, like we're massive advocates of trying to make this world a better place for future generations at the end of the day. So the massive question is, with everything that's coming out with Epstein, with Maxwell, all the royals, all the celebrities, all the music industry. Well, obviously I can't say all because it's not all. There's obviously a specific group of, and you've got politicians and whatnot as well. Why is this? It's hard to explain, isn't it? I keep losing my words. But yeah, why are we so focused on all this bullshit?
Phil?
Hi, I'm only going to be able to join you for maybe about 20 minutes.
Well, I'll pass over to Phil if he wants to have his.
No. Yeah, Elliot, Phil, Elliot.
Hi, Elliot.
Nice to meet you, Phil.
No, I'm learning from you, Elliot. Carry on, please.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's it's just absolutely shocking to me how what we call the sheeple are still so immersed with all this, popular television in terms of like, and to me it's social conditioning. When you look at things like EastEnders, Hollyoaks, Coronation Street, all these popular, daytime television programs, these are all subliminal mind washing. What you see every day, what you think every day, what you hear every day is what conditions your mind and your way of thinking. So it just shocks me the way that these sheep are still asleep to all this subliminal bullshit going on within the industries, and how they're so easily distracted by what's popular and what's trendy, and no one's afraid to break out of that box of what's popular and what's moving forward. You know, no one's breaking out of that box and thinking. And different people wake up to this kind of thing in their own time, and it's just about sort of acknowledging that different people have different perspectives, but we do need to try and change that collective.
Yeah, Elliot, this is why I do these kind of videos on YouTube, which you can see the type of videos I cover. I did one about child grooming with Phil just a couple of weeks ago. I talked about 5G, which obviously I had you on, and now I feel like this is why I've chosen this particular platform. I don't know how, because they may shut us down. I don't know. But I feel like half an hour is not enough for this to be addressed. We need longer. And this is why Philip Chan, he actually is a brilliant man. He's a brilliant man. He's a celebrity in my eyes, to be honest. And this is why I wanted him on, because he's got a problem with child trafficking as well.
Yes, sorry, I've got so many messages coming left, right, and centre. So, Elliot, you're quite right. I'm always concerned with television and like EastEnders and so on, Big Brothers and so on. For instance, like the reality show, like Big Brother, Love Island, and all those stuff. Actually, they have a team. They have a team of psychologists who vet their thing, and they're choosing the people who's got psychological defects. And they're deliberately matching up, knowing it will cause conflict, because that's great for television. So so the people are chosen are specific under the psychological profile they have, and they do assessment of that. They know it will cause conflict during the show, and that is very deliberate. They put the people together. And so a lot of things are planned in advance, how they can actually create friction during the show. And also in that particular environment, from a psychology point of view, they will behave in a much more abnormal way. And the condition is staged, and those people are actually being manipulated as well in a particular way. So that is from an educator like myself. I'm very conscious that that's what they're actually doing, and also psychology is one of my things as well.
Okay.
And it's like the cigarette people for a long time. They got over 20 years ago. Before they had a 25-year campaign, a 20-year program to rope kids into smoking. So each project, although it looks individual, but they've got a 25-year program how to pull the kids in. And so with the sole purpose of actually getting people to smoke, create a bad habit, and so on. So all these manipulations have been around for years.
I was going to say, I want to piggyback off of that and just mention how you can actually look up the US patent for the psychological manipulation from the blue light flicker from your television screen, which goes alongside the programming within the social media and whatnot, and the popular television programs, the music, the film industry. And that also goes alongside with the whole MK Ultra program that stemmed from, was it Operation Paperclip? So you've got MK Ultra where they're taking,
I think so,
like, say for example, was it Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, you got Justin Timberlake, and a few other celebrities. They were all in the Disney Club at the same time, and I've done a bit of research into the whole MK Ultra with Disney celebrities and whatnot. And it's very much the over sexualization of the modern pop culture. So what used to be a very much traditional, family valued, sort of strong family unit sort of way of living has now been turned into this sort of over sexualization, where what they see on TV, like you mentioned earlier with Love Island, where they've got new partners every 2 minutes, and there's never a stable relationship. And like you said, they've all got psychological defects. And these people are wanting to mimic that in their own lives. And what worries me is, like I said, with the over-sexualization, and especially, what was her name? Harriet Harman from the Labour Party, trying to push this whole idea of lowering the age of consent in terms of sexual contact and whatnot.
Mm.
All of these things combined have literally created the ideal format for paedophilia, and that is what is so fucking scary at this very point in time, is that the society has been shaped into an ideal platform where paedophilia can breed. Like you've even got cases like again with Manchester, Telford. Oh, there's too many to name. Rochdale, like there's too many places to name where these grooming gangs and whatnot have been so prominent. And even
Elliot,
the corruption goes all the way down to where the police are even covering for these horrendous crimes.
Well, there's also lots of cases where suddenly the judges who are sitting on the bench or thing they are actually part of the paedophilia group themselves, you know.
Exactly.
And you wonder why some of the people who were sentenced were so light, and obviously it transpired after quite a few years. Then some of the judges was actually part of the thing.
Corrupt
I
themselves.
saw a program last night. Actually, one of my ex-pupil, Stacey Dooley, actually did a program.
Okay.
Actually, she went to Japan, and they have all these. What's the famous cartoon they use? You know, and it was so
anime.
That has that, and you can have anything across the board. And they got a section with very young girls, was very sexualized and very explicit, and because and because it was cartoon, they said, well, you know, it's cartoon, it's not like pornography, but actually it is.
Okay.
But also the fact that sometimes from a cartoon, it's actually a much subtle way to actually get into kids' head. Through cartoons, it's okay to be sexualized, and then this. And also now there's gangs of Eastern European gangs now, who's actually now in the past 15 years now are growing increasingly in grooming kids, and especially like Manny, we were talking about Manny, friends, Manny yesterday. You know, in a lot of foster care home, you know, that's a very easy place to groom because the system is all wrong. You know?
Well, again, I'm a big advocate, and
you know what? I'm actually glad you mentioned that because obviously just because I shared it this morning in Manchester, just if yesterday or day before, a social worker was arrested for raping a child.
Oh my goodness, it's outrageous, isn't it?
In Manchester.
Yeah. So you know the system is coming back to the system that's actually is you know obviously they're under manpower. The social services obviously is very under manpower. I know that because over I don't know 12 years ago I was in the school and all the teachers asked for to listen to a talk by a social service person. And she came in and said, so they got a backlog of 3 years of backlog of cases because they haven't got enough people. They got all the evidence. They have got all the evidence where there's sexual abuse happening at home, but they still got to send the kids home every night. They're heartbroken by that, but there's nothing you can do about it because they got
way.
And there's a backlog, but we're talking about 12 years ago more. There's a backlog of 3 years in Luton, you know.
Oh my goodness!
So obviously, if this happened in one town, it's very likely that something in the other towns as well. You know.
Yeah,
so,
more likely it's happening across the board.
Right, gentlemen, I'm sorry to break. I've got other calls coming. I'm trying to sort out a fashion show for a celebrity on Sunday, so the audio message coming in. So, Ed, well, great to meet you. We'll talk again.
Thank you very much, Phil. I appreciate meeting you.
Okay, great. And my apologies, I can't stay for the full time. So, I mean, my last call is finished at 4 this morning. Okay.
Hey, Phil, never apologise.
Okay, mate. All the best. Okay, bye for now.
Take care.
Take care. Thank you.
Yeah. And there you go. That's just a prime example of what is going on in this. Needs to be shared out there.
Well, this is one thing I was quickly wanting to plug while I'm here. I hope it comes up all right on the camera. So childrenmatter.news. all about trying to stop forced
Yes.
adoption and obviously just child abuse in every single form that it occurs, because it does. It occurs across many forms across the board, from physical, sexual, psychological, all the way down to what I suffer myself with parental alienation. And I know you're a victim of that yourself.
I do as well. Yes, I was.
Alongside childrenmatter.news, I'd like to also give a big shout out to ACCA, so Against Corruption and Abuse. They work alongside childrenmatter.news. And mate, the people in these groups and these organisations are so passionate and such beautiful people. You can tell in their soul that they're just wanting to do what's best and what's right to create a better future for our children. So I can't give them enough credit. They do absolutely amazing work.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And this is why we need to get our kids home. 100%. Otherwise, because my daughter is out there somewhere, I haven't got a clue where she is, and she's being abused, and there is very little I can do. This is why the system is threatening to put a restraining order on me if I continue to pursue this.
But this is what's absolutely disgusting about it, Adam, is all you're doing is acting on your parental instinct. You're acting on that passion and that will and that want the best for your child. Yes. And that's all you're doing. But yet the system wants to categorically keep trying to drag you down and push you down and beat you down into thinking that you can't ever achieve that. But hopefully, well, not even hopefully, I know for a fact that collectively, amongst everyone that's passionate enough about these sort of issues, like I said, ignore your fucking television, ignore what the BBC is telling you, ignore all these fucking bullshit popular programs, ignore fucking popular music, and focus on what really matters, is generating a good, positive and nurturing environment for our kids to grow up in.
What I have been saying for years on end is it doesn't matter, because I know I'm liked on Facebook, I know I'm hated on Facebook, but that doesn't matter to me. It doesn't affect me.
No, it doesn't. No, you can hate me as a person as much as you want.
Yeah. Well, what I'm saying,
the truth still stands.
Yeah, well, what I'm saying is, I don't care what people think of me. I really don't care. You can call me all names under the sun if you want, but what we should do is stand united wherever.
Yes.
Put our egos aside just for one day and fight for our children. 100%. That's what we should do. Our growing up, our lives were destroyed by these lies. And now why can't we just unite for the sake of the future generation, kids and grandkids and nieces and nephews?
But this is the thing, isn't it? Where there's so many issues going on. It's obviously there's a big and there's a growing community of people that are starting to understand the truth behind what's going on, sort of starting to understand the people that are pulling the strings and causing all this social disorder and social chaos to distract from the real issues. And what we need to do, ideally, is everyone that's aware of what's going on, like you said, take that one day out collectively,
just
to all stand as united as possible, get as many number of people as we can in one centralized location, and just make one big fuck off stand.
Yeah, because what people need to remember is, yes, the system are going to come out in force. They are going to throw threats around. They are going to arrest people left, right, and centre. They'll probably even kill a few people.
But again,
as horrible as that is, horrible as that is. Yeah, what I was going to say is, yes, they can do all of that, but people need to remember there are more of us than them. There's more of us if we come together. They will stand down, just like the Secret Service did in America, because thousands and up to nearly 1 million people came into Washington. The army stood down. The Secret Service stood down because there's too many people. Why can't Britain do that?
Again, like I've said to many people across many years, is that the social divisions that have been put in place, these psychological operations that have like divided us, as Phil said, you know, these are always psychological plans over a span of, you know, 25, 30, 40, 50 years. These are all slowly implemented plans to get to where they want everyone to be, if that makes any sense. Shit, I completely forgot my fucking point.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. And that's why I've put that comment. People need to share. They need to share.
100%.
Put the egos aside. Put the opinions aside. Yeah, go on, Elliot.
Yeah, I was just going to say again, awareness and, you know, knowledge of the subject topic itself is more valuable. Well, just as valuable, should I say, not more valuable, just as valuable as people actually physically standing up and making a stand. Because again, when this information gets, obviously not every single person is going to see this sort of information and want to do something about it. However, it's a case of the more information that gets pushed out there, it only takes one little tiny bit of information, or, you know, a meme or a video or a question or a suggestion to wake some people up. And I'm a true believer that people that are compassionate enough in their heart and in their soul, they will awaken to what's going on in their own time.
Yeah.
But again, Absolutely. It's like a case of time. How much time do we have before it's too late for us to collect a bias, before it's too late for us to actually get the numbers up and make a full-on stand? Until, you know,
I know.
Yeah, sometimes I panic. Sometimes I do panic that we are running out of time. However, at the same time, time is on our side because we've brought so many fights and so many issues to the system way before they thought we were going to. We've sort of put them on the back foot, and they're now sort of having to backtrack their own steps.
Exactly. Because what I've noticed, just prime example, my case, the system who I'm taking on, they are slipping up. They're slipping up because I'm constantly pushing. So they're slipping up, they're making mistakes.
Because you've got pressure on them.
So exactly, so if one person can do it, yeah, I'm not the cleverest. There's people out there who are cleverer than me, probably a better parent than me. Doesn't make me not human, because it takes a human 100%. To have emotions. Yeah. If people care about them kids so much, do something. Yeah, it's all right tapping away on the keyboard left, right, and centre, but action speaks louder than words.
100%. And this is something that has frustrated me for years. Obviously, being a British lad, you know, and quite sort of big built and whatnot, people either assume that I'm into rugby or into some sort of sports. And I see fathers, right, rather sit at the pub watching a football game, drinking alcohol with their friends, than be at home spending quality time with their family and their children. And I can't help but think, these are the people that are essentially the problem. Because if you're sat there and your interest and your energy and all your thought process is more focused on a game of fucking football than children getting trafficked, abused, murdered, what's going on in that little brain of yours? I just can't comprehend it. Once you're aware to this stuff, what's going on, like the fact that you can just switch it off without a care in the world and just assume that, do you know what I mean? Like and again, people that are like, oh, I know it's a problem, but how can we actually change? What, like, you know, we're not going to be able to do anything. And I'm like, well, that's the fucking attitude that makes it almost certain that nothing will happen. Do you know what I mean? If you've got that negative attitude of, oh, I'm aware that it's going on, but there's nothing we can do about it, then you are part of the problem. because you've got that fucking attitude instead of going, do you know what?
Yeah.
I'm going to stand up. I don't care if people judge me. I don't care if people want to fucking put me in the ground. I'm standing for what's right. And that's what we need more of in this fucking world. Men to stand, well, men and women to stand together and say, no, we ain't fucking having it anymore.
See, I know damn well that I have to be extra careful with what I'm doing, because obviously, yes, I'm pushing to go and get my daughter because I care about her so much. But on the back foot, I have to protect my two kids at home.
Yeah,
so that's it. Because the last thing I want is, because the system are good at twisting things, really good. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but you have to give them credit for that, because they're really good at twisting things, twisting words, and manipulating people.
It's
the last thing
behavior,
I want is
isn't it?
That, exactly. And the last thing is them turn around saying, I care more about my daughter than I do two kids at home, which I clearly don't, because I love them equally. I love my family equal. Yeah. And obviously, what's the worst they can do? Put me in prison? Kill me? No, it's not going to happen. Because I've committed no crime.
Exactly.
And that's what people need to realise, because they're taking it out that them going after social services and going after custody of the child, they seem to think they're committing a crime there, but they're not. They're doing that protective parent. Which
the only crime they're committing is the crime of being a good parent and having that instinct to try and fight for what's best and what's right for your child. That's the only crime you're committing, and that's not even a crime, obviously.
Absolutely. Because I've been at this fight for nearly 5 years. I'm getting older. I'm slowing down, but I'm not slowing my fight down. In my gut, in my gut and in my heart, I'm still I don't know, 18, and I'll always be 18 until the day I die.
Age is but a number.
Because I've got a little hashtag in my mind, and that's hashtag never quit.
Mm-hmm.
Because the biggest fear is fear itself.
100%.
Yeah. And this is what we need to do. This is why I've chose StreamYard, to get this word out. Yeah, I know there's not many viewers, but this it was saying like there were 3-4 people watching, and now it's gone down to 0. But I don't know. There's probably, when I end this.
Well, again, though, Adam, if there's any way for me to share the show after we've finished, then there'll be more viewers, and this sort of word does get round, especially amongst the truth community.
Absolutely, because it will end up on YouTube. Absolutely, and my YouTube's public. Anyone can see it. This is what we need to do. I admit it's draining going after the system.
It really is, yeah, 100%. And that's exactly how they've designed it. They've designed it so that if anyone wants to fight for what's right, anyone that wants to fight for justice, anyone wants to fight for the benefit of future of the human fucking race, because again, one race, the human race. Just want to put that out there quickly.
No, I agree. Yeah. So this is what I'm saying. If you care about your kids so much and they're not within your care, fight for them. Because the only person that's stopping you, it isn't social service, it isn't family court or the judge or the barrister or the another parent. The only person that's stopping you is your fucking self.
Mm-hmm. As long as you fight with truth, love, and positivity in your heart, I feel like we can
and you're
collectively conquer this system.
Yeah. Learn your rights, lose the fear, and show that passion
100%.
and that confidence, and go.
You're not a dead entity. You're a living, breathing, powerful human being and embrace it.
Being human. We're all human. We're all human. That's all I've got to say. That is literally all I've got to say.
And like I
the
said,
choice is up to them now.
Any parents, any men especially out there that've got children, now is your time to really stand up and fight for what's right. Don't be fucking distracted by all this bullshit, all this expected, what society expects of a man. Ignore all that. Ignore it all. And just like me and Adam, just fucking focus on trying to generate a better fucking environment for our kids to grow up in. That's all that needs to happen.
This is why I do what I do. This is why I do what I do. Throughout the day, I do the odd course now and then because I'm starting my own business in promoting mental health, trying to find a way in stopping this stigma. The evidence is all on my YouTube. There's Elliot's in the videos. I've seen them. This is what we're doing. This is what I'm doing. Like, I've got them live up now on my phone. I've just got a professional football player who's just tuned in.
Wow.
Even the football community has now recognised mental health, and they're finally doing something about it.
Mm-hmm.
Kids' mental health, for goodness sake. My 8-year-old son has noticed my passion for mental health, and he wants to learn about it. So I'm teaching him, even his own school.
And again, this is another quick
I got
thing
an email.
I want to get onto is teaching children early that there's more to life than this whole capitalism idea. Earn as much money as you can, be as successful as you can, get the nicest car and the nicest house and wear the nicest clothes. That whole concept needs to be completely eradicated. And what we need is to nurture children, find out what they're good at, find out what their passions are, and nurture that so they become the best in their fields that they could ever become. And this is what's the problem with the education system, especially, is you're putting all these children in a box, so they all feel like they can never be as good as they would ever want to be or potentially could be, because you're not getting that one-on-one. And again, a lot of people have made the argument, if you started nurturing kids on their individual abilities, that there would never be enough teaching staff, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I think that's bullshit, because there's so many kids that develop similar passions, so you can still have them in a class that are passionate about a similar subject. So to me, that's all just BS. But again,
I'm glad you brought that up, because I was just picking up on it, where I got an email last week off my son's teacher. Well, obviously he's going to year 4 now, so his old teacher, shall I say now. And she even said when it comes to September, when he goes back to school, they're going to already have it in place for year 4. They're going to teach him about mental health. And I'm like, because I pushed for this. I wanted this one. So in a way, stop being scared of the schools. Parents can change the curriculum at any time.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime. Mm-hmm. If you don't want your child to learn about a particular topic because you feel uncomfortable doing it, email that school, get in touch with that school, and pull them out. You can do that.
And again, that boils back down to the simple principle of realizing our own individual powers. Because once you realize how much power you have as an individual, once you start actually putting that energy into, got a phone call coming in. Sorry. Once you put that energy in and you actually full on focus on that one particular thing that you want to get done, it's amazing how much you actually realize you do accomplish. So if we can do that, but on a scale, like I said, a collective, even if it's only 10, 20, 30 people, that's still so much more power and so much more energy that you can actually make a change with than just you as an individual. So once you realize your power as an individual, honestly, trust me, whether it takes a long time or whether it happens quite quickly, you will find like-minded people and you will create a collective just by realizing your own individual strength and your own individual power. When you fight
just the other week, I was talking about my son's future, and his eyes is he's going to year, but this secondary school is now sorted, is confirmed, and from when he turns 10 years old, he's sorted now until he's 19. And I talk to my kids practically every single day about the future. And this is what every parent should do. Sit down with them, 100%. Even if it's for like 10 minutes. Even if it's like 10 minutes, put your phone down. Put your tablet down. Turn your TV off.
Of how everyone's feeling, you know, and what you've done that day, what you feel like
have you had a great day?
What you want for the future. Yeah, exactly. Just that general discussion
see,
as a
my daughter,
unit that doesn't really seem to exist anymore.
See, my daughter, who's obviously here, she's got a talent for singing. We're now taking her into singing lessons to build their confidence up a little bit.
Because you care and you nurture and you want the best for their ability.
See, my son, he's got a special for maths. He's, I see this as a negative, but I more see it as a positive as well. He spends quite a majority of the day on his Switch or his tablet. But what I've learned after going to see the secondary school, for example, Minecraft. He's only 8 years old, Minecraft. If you actually think outside the box, Minecraft is actually educational. And he
100%, because that gives kids especially that ability to what they are imagining in their head. Yeah. They're allowed to construct that in a real environment and actually there in front of their eyes, and what they have thought has now just manifested.
Yeah, because like I'm going to say this now, Minecraft, just Minecraft itself, or even Roblox, whatever. I'm just going to take Minecraft for example. There's different topics in there. There's construction, there's maths, there's even reading in it. There's even science. There's all of that. And I asked him just the other day, what do you want to do when you're older? He wants to do what I'm doing all these videos. He wants to be a YouTuber. I'm like, right, okay, so what are you going to talk about? He says, well, I'm going to go online. My face will be in the corner, and I'm going to promote games. He wants to make games when he's older. And I'm like, wow, go for it, buddy.
Yeah, that's it, exactly. And not a lot of kids get that environment where they're encouraged. You know, a lot of parents will say, oh, no, that's a silly dream. You'll never be able to do that. And they cut them off at the very first instance. But what needs to happen is that instant, like split second, you go, right, that's your dreams. We're going to help you get there.
Exactly. Yeah.
I do apologise, Adam. I've got a lot of calls and a lot of messages coming through.
Yeah, it's all right, because I was going to end this now anyway, but because I weren't going to keep it that long. But I thought, we need to address this.
Of course. So just one last shout to say, anyone that is able-bodied, anyone that is passionate, anyone that has a genuine, deep-down need for what's best for the children, somehow we need to reach across all platforms and have one full-on united day where everyone stands for that one cause.
Absolutely. And this is what it is. This is why I did this. My YouTube is always open. My Facebook's always open. Those Elliots. We're going nowhere. We're human beings. 100%. Start treating each other like them, because the government and the system want us to treat each other like rivals and robots. We're not them. We've got a heartbeat. We've got a voice box. Fucking use it.
Exactly.
And on that note, I'm going to end this.
Well, it's been an absolute pleasure speaking to you again, Adam.
Speak soon.
Take care.